Post your location and local time in the comments, then settle in because at 3:50 a.m., Liam Hargraves's landline shrieks like a smoke alarm, learning jazz scales, and he's upright before the second ring boots half on heartbeat doing jumping jacks it never auditioned for. He answers. The voice, Karen Weldon, HOA royalty, by self-appointment, demands his gate keys under emergency authority, which sounds official. Until you remember, clipboards don't outrank property deeds. He stays calm the way mountain people do when the weather throws tantrums and tells her to bring a judge's warrant or bring coffee and apologies. She chooses threats. Historians still argue whether bravado was invented before bureaucracy, but at this hour they're neck and neck. He hangs up, not rude, just done like canceling a free trial before it starts charging for nonsense. He moves through the house with that quiet efficiency. Search and rescue hammered into his bones, radio on his belt, Maglite night vision monocular camera with a lens long enough to deserve a seatbelt. Outside, frost combs the pasture. The air tastes like iron filings and pine. A marmot whistles like a tea kettle fringe tidbit, but true, and his breath does tiny cartoon clouds that would file a complaint if they could. Downslope, two black SUVs idle with HOA logo shiny enough to guide lost hikers. 6 figures shuffle in safety vests that say, "Road crew not road lawful." Joke 1, the vests are bright enough to land a helicopter, which is convenient if someone orders pizza by rotor. Joke 2, the SUVs hum like overconfident bees that have never met winter. Joke 3, his phone has better bars than their legal argument. At the steel gate, bear-proof, busybody-proof, tested by both, a man kneels with lockpicks that did not come from the beginner peg. Liam photographs the technique, click, click, future exhibit A, and flips the perimeter floods. 6 military surplus towers roar awake, turning gravel to daylight and confidence to squinting. Everyone freezes. Sunglasses would help, sunscreen would not. Historians still argue whether surprise beats paperwork, but the glare writes a persuasive brief. He lifts the bullhorn voice even as a carpenter's level private land recording in progress, law enforcement en route. Joke 4, he suggests they moisturize because the light is unforgiving. Joke 5, he offers to spell trespass because spelling bees matter. Joke 6, he reminds them the gate only opens for birthdays and warrants. Karen steps into the blaze mid-50s jacket straight from a weekend warrior catalog authority dialed to 11 and waves documents like confetti at a parade no one ordered. A white sedan noses in behind, delivering a man in a costume that thinks it's a uniform badge, glinting wrong portfolio clutched like a talisman. The name reads, Inspector Thomas Riley. Problem: Thomas Riley has been dead 18 months. Ghosts rarely need clipboards. Liam asks for a badge number. The man studies his shoes where jurisdiction is famously printed. Papers slide under the gate. The seal is neat. The signature is neater, too neat, the exact hand Liam remembers from a Fatal Climb case file he kept like a pack rat with purpose. He smiles porch sweet and says he'll call Tom to verify. The fake inspector blanches. 2 vest folk practice the ancient art of reverse. Quirky-eyed goats have rectangular pupils. Tunnel vision isn't one of them, but tonight the humans have it covered. He stays patient. Rifle visible but resting camera rolling, floodlights humming like content beehives. Sirens begin to stitch through timber, red-blue, threading the dark as if someone is hemming the night. The hillside holds its breath. Steel gate gleams, and as the patrol car crests the ridge, the standoff finally gets an audience that speaks fluent statute. Dave rolls up with the practiced calm of a man who's watched midnight turn into paperwork, roof bar strobing across the SUVs, while Liam keeps the camera steady because the lens doesn't blink when people bluff. IDs get requested. The faux inspector produces a badge laminated by optimism. Dave reads the number, radios it in, and lifts one eyebrow, the county's cheapest lie detector. Joke 1, that eyebrow has probable cause. The lockpicker suddenly studies gravel like it's on the bar exam. Joke 2, Karen smiles so hard her teeth file a noise complaint. Joke 3, someone in a vest whispers, "We're community security," which is adorable, like calling a hairdryer a jet engine. Dispatch confirms the punchline, the badge belongs to a man who's been gone 18 months. The floodlights do what truth does, make counterfeits look waxy. Backup arrives, the kind with windbreakers, whose letters can be read from low orbit. And inventory begins: lockpicks, survey rigs, water testing kits, a printer with more toner than scruples, and a laptop sporting 3 folders titled "Definitely Not Fraud," "Meeting Notes," and "Pizza." Historians still argue whether incompetence or arrogance topples more empires. Tonight, both bring snacks. The card fails the flashlight test. The county seal blisters at the edge, and the signature matches a dead man's looping hand too perfectly, like it was traced during a meeting that didn't have minutes because it had alibis. Joke 4. Liam offers the bullhorn for spell check on impersonation. Joke 5. Dave suggests they keep their hands visible, preferably not in my evidence bags. Joke 6. The lockpicker decides he's a botanist now and studies ponderosa bark. Warrants spin up before sunrise. By mid-morning, they're inside the HOA office, where file cabinets yawn like startled hippos. Binders, maps, and red grease pencil targets spill a story nobody meant to read aloud. Operation Mountain Sweep. Step 1, manufacture panic. Step 2, draft inspections. Step 3, seize easements. Step 4, flip land to developers with spa catalogs and flexible ethics. Joke 7, someone made a Gantt chart with dramatic pause columns. Joke 8, the shell company paying invoices is called Alpine Civic Partners, which is like naming a raccoon compost steward. Joke 9, there's even a community outreach kit translation. A box of clipboards and intimidation. Forensics follows the money like trout follow a ripple. HOA safety budgets to consulting fees to a Cayman mailbox that has never seen a postcard. Names pop like corn. A judge taking advisory retainers. A building inspector. Failing buildings that never failed an assessor. Pumping valuations until tax bills wheeze. Liam's photos, the recorded call, and the gate side packet stitch the timeline tight as bootlaces. Quirky tidbit crows remember faces and teach their young who to distrust. Tonight the mountain learns fast too. License plates, VINs invoices, all roosting where they can be counted. Historians still argue whether power grows from the badge or the binder, but the binder here sings like a choir. Then the files whisper about 2 accidents, a cliff fall, and a house fire neatly timed to a maintenance outage. The agents lower their voices as if loud words could bruise the paper and reopen both, because pattern beats coincidence the way winter beats garden parties. Joke 10, someone suggests the definitely not fraud folder should plead the 5th. The folder declines comment. Liam, who wants nothing grander than quiet springs and honest fences, becomes the keystone witness before he can get a hot breakfast, protective detail, assigned number on speed dial camera cards logged like gold. By dusk, the floodlights are off, but the mountain isn't dim. It's awake. Dave claps his shoulder the pat that says, "We've got the ball. Now you just breathe," and promises to return the bogus badge once it completes its community service as a cautionary tale. The marmot whistles again from the rocks, and for a heartbeat, the ridge sounds like a town clock striking the hour time to take this to the feds. By summer, he's in Denver suit that fits like quiet confidence taking the stand, while exhibits stack higher than trail cairns after a busy weekend. The recording of Karen's 4 a.m. voice plays for the jury sharp as sleet. The forged order follows, and even the defense blinks like owls at noon. Historians still argue whether justice feels more like a hammer or a sunrise. Today, it's both bright and final. Joke 1, the projector remote goes missing and 3 attorneys pat pockets like magicians who forgot the dove. Joke 2, when the fake inspector testifies his "I thought it was routine" lands with the grace of a parking ticket in a hurricane. Joke 3, Blackwood's tie changes shades across days, a mood ring for diminishing options. Webb maps the racket shelfies, emergency protocols, and a playbook that reads like a heist movie with fewer car chases and more clipboards. The jury learns about 2 accidents, and you can feel the room tip from curiosity to anger, the way a cornice gives with one soft sigh. Quirky tidbit: despite the movies, federal judges rarely use gavels. The silence between sentences does the heavy lifting. Judge Vance's voice stays level, but the words land like posts driven deep, guilty on all counts. Joke 4, the clerk stapler, veteran of 1,000 filings, retires mid-swing and gets replaced with applause small enough to pass his coughs. Restitution follows, and injunctions too. No HOA emergency inspections beyond their fences, period, exclamation point, underlined with a ruler. When it's over, he walks out into mountain bright air that smells faintly of rain and distant sage, pocket heavier with a check heart, heavier with what almost happened. Back home, the Ridge wears new eyes cameras that notice sensors that listen a gate that doesn't negotiate. Maria Agent Martinez to headlines Maria to the Porch builds a training curriculum that teaches neighbors to keep receipts, keep copies, keep calm. Joke 5, they print trespass flashcards because apparently that's tonight's spelling word forever. Joke 6, the old floodlights retire to legend status. Remember the night daylight clocked overtime. The marmot keeps whistling. The spring keeps running. And the mountain finally breathes. The ridge softens as evening slides in, not hurried, not loud. Just that patient blue that happens when sun and shadow agree to share the room. And he stands where the pasture tips toward the timber, listening to small things do their small necessary work. The moths tapping the porch screen, the seep of water through clean gravel, the gate's quiet servo breath that says everything's secure, everything's steady. He thinks about how nights used to feel like tests and now feel like long, slow sentences, the kind you finish without checking over your shoulder, and the house holds its warmth a little longer, as if the logs once learned winter and promised never to forget. The cameras are there, of course, but they hum softer than crickets, and the path lights keep a kind promise showing enough and nothing more. And if the wind picks up, it only rearranges pine needles. No papers, no orders, no lies with official fonts. Maria steps onto the porch, hand resting where new life stirs. Voice low, almost a lullaby. And they talk about tomorrow's class maps and deeds, calm and cadence, how to say no in a way that travels farther than a rumor. And the words unspool gently, like twine from a pocket, leaving a line back to the door, if anyone needs it. Out past the fence, the spring keeps its old story, a thread of silver in a dark weave, and clouds drift without agenda, and tired thoughts find chairs and sit down. If any lights shine tonight, they shine for comfort, not for show. And the ridge answers with the quiet agreement of stone, that deep, patient yes of a place that intends to stay. Somewhere, a marmot whistles once and then thinks better of it. Somewhere, a page turns and the book remembers everyone who made it this far. Breathe in, breathe out, the mountain whispers, rest, now you've done enough for today.